What if a 6% jump in your aerobic capacity came not from another interval set, but from choosing a precise probiotic strain that strengthens your gut and shortens your recovery window?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, and today we're examining how targeted probiotics can support endurance, strength, and resilience when your training is at its peak.
I'm Alara Sky. Intense training challenges more than your muscles. It strains your gut lining and dampens immunity. When that barrier loosens, bacterial fragments slip into your bloodstream and drive inflammation that slows recovery. Research shows specific probiotic strains can reinforce gut integrity, reduce gastrointestinal distress, lower the risk of upper respiratory infections, and improve how you absorb fuel and building blocks.
Endurance athletes in the literature reported fewer race day gut issues and better recovery when supplementing with strains like Lactobacillus plantarum and Bifidobacterium lactis. Intermittent sport athletes, including soccer and basketball, saw calmer mood, less perceived stress, and gains in aerobic capacity. Resistance-trained athletes using Bacillus coagulans or Bacillus subtilis recorded measurable improvements in strength and muscle thickness compared to controls.
Those results followed clear timelines. Gastrointestinal comfort commonly improved within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use. Endurance and strength metrics typically shifted after 8 to 12 weeks. Runners and cyclists experienced the largest reductions in gut distress. Resistance-trained lifters saw the most noticeable jumps in performance metrics. Women in long-distance cohorts showed reductions in visceral and total body fat, while men more often added lean mass.
Mechanisms matter here. Certain strains fortify tight junctions, your gut's cellular seals, limiting the endotoxins that trigger systemic inflammation. Others raise short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, which energize intestinal cells, support lipid metabolism, and encourage oxidative muscle fibers suited to sustained aerobic output. Probiotics have also been linked to better absorption of amino acids and fats, and improved iron handling, which supports red blood cell production and oxygen delivery.
High-intensity or prolonged sessions temporarily suppress immune defenses and disrupt the microbiome. But studies show probiotic support can reduce gut permeability, lower inflammatory cytokines, and improve uptake of carbohydrates, amino acids, and iron. In practical terms, that means steadier energy, preserved muscle function during demanding blocks, and, for many, higher VO2 max paired with fewer gastrointestinal distractions.
Single strains and multi-strain formulas serve different purposes. Multi-strain products tended to deliver broader effects across performance and recovery markers. Single strains acted more like precision tools. Lactobacillus casei was tied to stress reduction and immune regulation in intermittent sports, Bacillus coagulans to muscle recovery support, and Bifidobacterium longum variants to endurance improvements. Selecting by goal is the point. Not every strain fits every need.
Real-world athletes describe fewer in-race bathroom stops, less cramping and bloating, and more reliable energy during back-to-back events when using appropriately chosen probiotics. Mood and mental clarity also show up as competitive advantages, with calmer pre-event states and steadier focus reported during heavy training and travel, key when one person's low energy can ripple through a team.
Before you jump in, the order of operations matters. If your gut is irritated, adding probiotics too early can backfire by feeding the wrong populations. First, remove the inputs that keep the fire smoldering. Cut out vegetable oils high in linoleic acid, soybean, canola, sunflower, and corn oil. Those oils interfere with energy production and keep inflammation elevated.
Next, rebuild with easy-to-digest carbohydrates that don't aggravate your gut. White rice and ripe fruit provide accessible fuel without overfeeding problematic microbes. This phase gives your intestinal lining a chance to settle while you continue to train. Keep the focus on gentle, consistent inputs rather than rapid experimentation.
Support healing before layering probiotics. Center meals on quality protein and well-cooked starches, and avoid irritants like excessive raw vegetables and processed grains while symptoms persist. As your digestion steadies, less bloating, fewer cramps, more regularity, begin to add fiber gradually to support short-chain fatty acid producers that strengthen your barrier and calm immune overactivation.
Only then introduce targeted strains that match your goals. If endurance is your priority, Lactobacillus plantarum and Bifidobacterium lactis have been associated with fewer gut issues and stronger recovery. For muscle repair, Bacillus coagulans has evidence for supporting growth and strength. If heavy training leaves you edgy or run down, Lactobacillus casei has been linked to stress modulation, and certain Bifidobacterium longum strains align with endurance metrics.
Pair probiotics with a maintenance plan so benefits stick. Continue to avoid linoleic acid-heavy vegetable oils, and feed beneficial microbes with prebiotic foods highlighted in the research, such as cooked and cooled potatoes, ripe bananas, or small amounts of honey. Track your digestion, energy, sleep, and training outputs so you can see whether changes are moving you towards steadier performance.
Expectations are straightforward. Within 3 to 6 weeks, you should notice fewer gastrointestinal symptoms and less disruption around sessions and events. Between 8 and 12 weeks, look for objective shifts, more consistent splits, better strength sets, and stronger perceived recovery, especially if you're aligning strains with your sport demands and introducing them on top of a calmer gut.
Common questions have simple answers. How do probiotics help performance? By strengthening your gut barrier, improving nutrient absorption, and reducing inflammation, they support higher energy output, faster recovery, and better resistance to illness. Why fix your gut first? A damaged lining pushes probiotics to feed the wrong microbes, worsening symptoms. Which strains? Choose based on your need. L. plantarum and B. lactis for endurance support. L. casei for immune regulation under heavy training. B. coagulans for recovery and growth, and strains that encourage butyrate production to bolster barrier function and energy metabolism.
Timelines depend on your goal and consistency. Gut comfort often improves inside a month, while endurance, strength, and recovery changes typically follow 2 to 3 months of steady use. Multi-strain options can cover broader needs. Single strains can be reserved for targeted pushes around specific training blocks or issues you can name.
Bring this back to your next cycle. If you're logging long miles and battling mid-session cramping, prioritize strains tied to endurance and gut stability. If you're chasing strength PRS, consider evidence around Bacillus species for recovery. If stress spikes during travel or tournament weeks, L. casei may be the tighter fit. Align the tool with the job and give it the full timeline to work.
Here's your challenge. Over the next 4 weeks, remove 1 linoleic acid-heavy oil from your kitchen and replace it with a non-LA option. Simplify your carbs to white rice and ripe fruit while your gut settles. Then introduce 1 targeted probiotic strain that matches your goal and track GI comfort, energy, sleep, and training outputs for 8 to 12 weeks.
Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.